What is up, mental patients? My name is Tormental, and welcome to another sneak peek at Rolls from Camp Cadaver. If you haven't heard about Camp Cadaver, it's a game coming out for your browser that I'm working on with this dude named Mammon. And yeah, it's two of us just putting it together, and it's going to be a browser-based game, sort of like Mafia or Werewolf or Town of Salem or Throne of Lies or SC2 Mafia or whatever the fuck else, and Epic Mafia, things like that. But we've got some of our own roles. We've got some roles that are original to our game. And I think I'm going to show you some of them. I'm going to show you 4 of them, like I've been doing in some of these sneak preview videos. So let's not even worry about any more bullshit, and let's go on with the thing here, okay. Final Girl. Okay, have you ever heard of the Final Girl? The Final Girl is a trope in horror movies, basically where there's the protagonist, the lead girl in the movie, and she's like the final girl who lives at the end. Some examples of this would be like Sydney from Scream. What's-her-face from Halloween. God, what is the name of that actress? Okay, this is one of those things where I'm going to remember the name of the actress after everything's said and done, and I'm going to be like, well, I can't go back and edit it in, so... I'll just do this. What I'll do is this. Like that actress from Halloween, her name is... Edit name in here. Okay, I'll totally remember to edit that name in. But, yeah, the final girl who survives everything at the end of the movie. It's actually a trope with this name, so that's where the name comes from. So, yeah, the final girl. Select one player each night to defend yourself against them. So, this is a hero killing role. This is a good guy, a good killing role, like the rebel or the principal, which are our versions of, like, the vigilante and the jailer. So the final girl, in original role, she has no similar role from the other Mafia games. What you do is you select one person each night, and if that specific person that you selected tries to kill you that night, you kill them instead and you live. So it's sort of like almost bodyguarding yourself, but the payoff, or the trade-off, is that you have to actually select the right person who is about to kill you. So let's say, I don't know, I'm the final girl. You're the serial killer. You're the slasher, is what we call them in this game. So you're the slasher, I'm the final girl. If I click your name at night, and you try to kill me, I will kill you instead, because I'm the final girl. Now, if I didn't select you, if you try to kill me, and I select someone else at night, you'll just kill me and I'll be dead, because I didn't pick the right person. So it's a bit of a gamble. It's kind of an interesting role, I think. It's sort of like, as I say, it's sort of like the rebel or the loner, which is the vigilante or the veteran. But instead of just killing anybody who visits you or specifically shooting somebody in the face, you have to kind of use your wits, you have to use your intelligence, you have to use what you've learned, and try to select the actual killer in the round. So, yeah, I don't know if I can explain that any better. I don't even know if I explained that well at all. But too long, didn't read. Final girl, select somebody at night. If they try to kill you, you kill them. That's it. Let's move on. Let's move on from that shit show of an explanation. Let's go to the fraud. The fraud. The fraud is a villain, which is our version of the Mafia. The fraud is very interesting. It's a deception role. What you do is you select someone each night to tamper with their votes the next day. So basically, if you're the fraud and you select somebody at night, the next day, when that person you selected tries to vote somebody up for judgment, nobody's going to see their vote except for them. So that person is going to see that they're voting up somebody for judgment, but nobody else is going to know that they're doing that because it's going to be hidden from everybody but the person who's voting. So, it's good for, like, framing people and different things like that. Like, when somebody evil is put up for judgment and they're killed, people will look back and they'd say, well, you know what? This player didn't vote that person up. Maybe they're suspect. And, of course, that person did vote the person up. It's just that you hid their vote from everyone, so it kind of implicates them. Now, another fun part of this is that the person you select will have their votes of guilty or innocent reversed. So if they vote innocent, everybody else will see them voting guilty. If they vote guilty, everybody else will see them voting innocent. So you see, if you have somebody who goes up who's evil, and everybody knows they're evil, and everybody votes guilty on them, the person that you selected as the fraud, that person is going to show as voting innocent. And so everybody's going to be like, whoa, wait a minute, why'd you vote innocent? And, blah, blah, blah. Now, this has multiple uses in that not only can you implicate other people and make them look guilty by changing their votes, and it doesn't really literally change their vote. Their vote still counts the right way. It's just that everybody sees it the wrong way. Everybody sees, it looks to be, a bad vote. So not only can you change people's votes, but you can also make it so that just by the fact that this role exists in the game, now when people are voting, they can vote however they want and say, oh, gee, my vote must have been changed by the fraud. So like evil people can vote evil ways. And if people give them shit for it, they can say, oh, boy, I voted the other way. It must be that fraud changing my vote. So just by existing, this role changes the game up a little bit, makes it a bit easier for people to lie. So yeah. Let's just move on. Let's move on. The Anarchist. No, not the Airhead. God damn it. Rioter. That's right. I changed the name. It's not Anarchist anymore. It's Rioter. The Rioter is a neutral evil, which is an outcast in our game. We call neutral evil outcasts. So the outcast Rioter needs to get themselves lynched. It's sort of like the Jester, which is, called Class Clown in our game. So once you get yourself lynched as the Rioter, everybody in the round swaps roles with each other. It's anarchy. It's chaos. It's crazy. You could see why I originally called it the Anarchist. So let's say you're in a round with like 14 other people, and you get yourself lynched. Those 14 other people will have their roles reassigned with each other's. So like the Mafia, might be, or not Mafia, the Tycoon. The Tycoon might become like, somebody good. Good people could become evil. All different things like that. So that's the thing. And, people might be worried, well, if you are in the villains group, which is like the Mafia, if you're a villain and you become good, you could just tell everybody who the other villains are. But that's not the case because everybody's roles have switched. So the people who were evil can just say, oh, no, I changed to a good role, even if they didn't, So it's like there's going to be no way to prove who's what. It's absolute chaos. And I just love this role. I don't know. It may be a little complex in explanation, but in practice, what you'll see is the Rioter will try to get themselves hung. And if they get themselves hung, your role is going to change to someone else's role. And it doesn't add new roles into the round. It'll still be the same role list that you started with. It's just that everybody gets reassigned, a new role from the ones that are available. So yeah, I don't know. Do you understand any of that? If you understand that, put in the description below, or in the comments below. Say, I understood that. And, fuck, I don't know. I'm calling comments descriptions. I don't know what I'm doing. So the Gasser. Let's look at the Gasser. The Gasser is a psycho, which is our version of neutral killing. Like the slashy, killy, everybody dies sort of guys. The Gasser is a very interesting neutral killing role because you choose one player to gas each night. And the player that you gas will die 2 nights after that. So it's like a delayed killing. You choose somebody one night, and 2 nights later they die. Now, as a... Oh, fuck, I said this wrong the first time. I said payoff, but what I mean is trade-off. As a trade-off for your victim dying 2 nights later, your visit doesn't count as a visit. So, like, when you gas somebody, you're not going to be seen. You're not going to die to, like, a bodyguard, which is the jock. You're not going to die to a veteran, which we call the loner. Your visit doesn't count as a visit. So you're not really going to put yourself at risk of dying by visiting somebody and gassing them. And as a trade-off, it takes 2 days for the kill to take effect. So if the gasser dies before the victim dies, then the gassing is undone. So, basically when people are gassed, they're going to be like, quick, we have to find the gasser. I'm going to die in 2 nights, So, yeah. I mean, it's kind of an interesting role, I think, in that, as I said, there's the trade-off of you're more anonymous, you're more, free from having to worry about being killed by visiting someone. But yet, you're going to have to, plan things accordingly that your victims are going to die in 2 nights. You have to be a little careful about that. So yeah, that's 4 rolls from this one. I think I think my explanations are getting worse. I think I'm getting like more befuddled as time goes on. I think because we've been doing so much testing of the game. We've been testing the shit out of this game to try to find any problems or errors before it's like released and shown to you guys. So maybe my mind is going. Maybe my mind is dripping out my ears. Maybe I've been gassed. That's a possibility. It's a possibility. I mean, that would explain that smell.